Well, hey there. Welcome to the Paw Chronicles and More with Jim. Well, today I'm out here mixing soil, getting prepared to do some bare roots. And the reason why I'm here to speak with you today is to talk about soil and mediums and a little bit about the bare root scenario. I have two tubs in the back of this gator. One tub was filled with cow manure compost. The other tub is filled with Pro Mix seed bedding, I guess you would call it. And what I'm trying to do is mix a medium up. Now the Pro Mix, it's not going to offer up a whole lot as far as nutrients and stuff like that, whereas the cow manure compost will do that just fine. Got a bee flying around here. Now, when I'm transplanting these persimmons that I'll be working with, they're out back already planted. I planted them last year, and some of them are 3 foot tall. Some of them have reached 5 foot plus. And what I found was when I grafted out in the field, they weren't taking to the graft like I'd hoped. We had a semi-drought going through here pretty much all summer. I wouldn't call it a semi, it was a pretty good drought. Things got dry. However, that ground back there, it stayed moist. Now what I grafted in the greenhouse did well as far as grafts, but out in the field, not so well. And I think a lot of that's got to do with moisture content in the ground. I've often heard it said that persimmons like it hot and dry. Well, we had the heat, but that ground back there, it didn't dry out like I thought it would. It's not saturated with water or anything like that. It's just soil just doesn't really dry out, which really made great for my pawpaws. But it did well for the persimmons as far as growing back there. But I want to graft those persimmons. I want to be able to put cultivars out there, and I think what I'm going to do is create a controlled environment and where I can graft the persimmons and then go ahead and put them out there. Now, as far as the soil content, I don't want the soil to be really heavy like this cow manure. I want the root to be able to push through it. But I don't want this fluffiness either, because there's really not a whole lot of nutrients in there. And it's very, very loose. So what I'm going to do is just mix the two mediums together to create a better scenario as far as soil content and what it is that I want out of the soil. And this has been the way I've been mixing soil all summer long. These two components seem to work well hand in hand. Now the trees that I have are going to be placed in root trapper bags that I've shown before, 3-gallon root trapper bags, in which the 3-gallon root trapper bags do a really good job as far as moisture content. And that moisture content is something that we'll need during the winter to help protect those roots. The moisture get around the roots, and when it does get to a point that we start freezing, the moisture around the roots will actually help insulate the roots, because water is a little bit warmer than air. And that's the key, is not letting them dry out over the winter. When they're in the ground, they're not going to dry out. That's the reason why your seedlings tend to survive very well when you got them in the earth. The snow coming and melting, the rains, it's what helps keep that tree alive. It's that dry cold that gives you the issue. Now, pretty much got that mixed up to the texture I want. We don't have the packiness, but we don't have the looseness. And when I water it in, it's going to be able to form itself around the root system. I got a lot of these bags to do. I got a regular soil bag here, repurposed. And what I'll be doing is bagging up a lot of this soil, because I have quite a few of those trees that I want to do this with. Some of them will be housed in the garage out of the elements of the code. They'll be dormant anyways. Matter of fact, they're pretty much dormant as it is. I've got about 40 to 50 root trapper bags that I could use that are 3 gallon. And if so, in a pinch, I got a good handful of 5 gallon root trapper bags. But I like the 3 gallon the best. They're easier to handle. But anyways, my name's Jim. If you like what you see, subscribe. Don't forget to click on that bell for any notifications. Any comments or questions that you may have, I welcome. Y'all have a God blessed day.